Alicite, the young prince of the Lycan, was running fast ahead of another of his kind. A bipedal canine with high intelligence. The Lycan are from the dark. They number in the millions and are a race of significant importance. On his hind legs, standing roughly 6 to 7 feet in height. Colors range from one to another, but they are mostly brown in color. The Mechai have taught the Lycan about selective breeding, though not quite advanced enough for genetic research on their own. Through selective breeding, the Lycan have advanced their race into 3 specific breeds. First is the original slender snout. Slim, athletic, and agile. Mostly brown in color. They refer to these as pure blood. The second, and fewer in number, is the working class breed. Known simply as the laborers. They have more variety of colored fur, larger build, and they are built to do most of the daily labor needed by the community, to include building, hunting, and the general day-to-day work. And the third breed is their warrior class. This breed is bulging with muscles. They have a squished face and again vary in colors more than the original breed. These are called warriors. All stand about the same height, but the warriors are pure muscle and outweigh their counterparts by at least double. Alicite was running topside on the surface, and he and his mate Jason were both purebloods. They had just finished a nighttime hunt in the fresh air, where they had taken down a doe and finished eating as the sun began to crest over the hills. Alicite said, "The sun is rising. We have been on the top side too long. Once the sun crests the hill, we will lose our vision and be blind to anything downwind of us. If you have had your fill of venison, we should be moving with haste." Jason said, "Wow, where did the night go?" "Yes, but I am weighed down." She was delicious. "Let's move. I'll try to keep pace." In a low growl, Alicite says, "Keep up, or be left behind." The pair began darting as fast as they could through the woods, weaving between trees and ducking underbrush. The Lycans sprint on all fours, Jacint behind Alicite, but keeping pace just fine. Jacint watched Alicite fall. His front hands never kept up with his hind paws. Alicent fell face first and slid 10 to 15 feet forward on his jowls. The gunfire startled Jacint. She slid to a halt and went to her belly as she scanned the forest. She was sun-blinded, not being used to the brightness topside, but she could hear not very far off, downwind as they were concerned, was loud cheering and rustling of dry leaves, as what sounded like at least 2 humans made their way towards her fallen lover. Just a few leaps ahead of where she was lay Alicite. No motion. She knew if he was breathing, she would be able to hear him. Being this close, she lets out a short whimper, and as she hears the voices get close, she began to growl intensely. She has now pinpointed the distance to the loud one, so happy with his kill. She leapt from her pre-sprung crouched position. He was closer than she thought, and missed the attack but landed square on top of him, close enough now she could look into his eyes, just before sinking her teeth into his face. His companion fell on his ass in fright. He reached for his weapon. Jacint launched at him now. She sank her teeth straight into his throat. A perfect kill. As she tore the flesh from his spinal column, his wounded friend got to his feet. Jacint didn't notice. She was enraged and just continued ripping flesh from bone wherever she could find it. The first hunter got away. By the time Jacint calmed down, her victim was bone, blood, torn clothing, and completely spread on the forest ground around her. And then she realized she had allowed the other to get away. Jacint made her way to Alicite's corpse. She sat next to him for what felt to her to be eternity, before taking him by the scruff of his neck and dragging him the distance, back to the cave she had originally emerged from the night before when he was still alive. She now reflects on the fact she bit a man and allowed him to get away, and what this might mean.
He will turn